Oh, hello. It is going to be Zaku MMA. What is up? So, for first video, I thought why not go over the biggest UFC card of all time, ever possibly, probably including the Conor cards, just in terms of widespread reach, because yeah, a lot of people know Conor, but almost everyone in the world knows the White House, and they're fighting on the White House lawn. So yeah, we're going to be breaking down this card. First initial thoughts, it's a solid card. I know a lot of people, they built it towards a casual fan base, which is good because they want to market this towards a casual fan base. And I am happy with the headline. Well, the two champions essentially in the headliner, which is going to be Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira. I'm happy it's not someone like a John Jones or Conor McGregor. I don't think they really deserve it. Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira, those are two guys like I want to see those guys get the shine. Those are talented, awesome fighters, high level, great. I do think that the card has probably a little bit too many squash matches, a lot of heavy favorites I'm going to picture, but it still should be fun. It's just not the legendary card that Dana and Trump promised with multiple title fights. It's got 1.5 title fights. So, and quite frankly, I'm not too fan of choices. But regardless, it should still be a fun card, and we're going to be breaking it down, starting with the first fight of the night, which is going to be Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. So this is a sneaky, very good, very entertaining matchup. I really like Steve Garcia, and he is super low-key. Not a lot of people know Steve Garcia, primarily because he's an Apex legend, unfortunately. Steve Garcia is usually relegated to the Apex for whatever goddamn reason. And a lot of people know that he was just shy of breaking the knockout streak. I believe he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, count ahead. Yeah, he was just about to break it up until he ran into a Calvin Kattar. So this boy's dangerous. The thing is, though, and then after Kattar, he of course knocked out poor Onama, once again in the Apex, but still. Steve Garcia is good. He is a forward action fighter with good boxing. Diego Lopes, on the other hand, he is the more well-known guy. They put him on big events all the time. He had multiple title shots, one of which I don't think he deserved. The first one, yeah, he deserved it. It's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with punishing Movsar for being boring to an extent, but the second one is just ridiculous. Diego Lopes, high action, really good BJJ, and really reckless striking. I'm concerned for him this matchup. He's a big old blockhead. He loves to get smacked in the head, and he does not like the defense. And then he has the hair flopping around, which looks bad in the judge's eye point. But I think I'm leaning towards Garcia. I'll explain later, because if I explain why, it might be a spoiler, but I'm leaning towards Garcia. But make no mistake, this is the closest matchup on the card by far, because I could see a real world in which Diego Lopes takes him down, submits him, because Steve Garcia hasn't had the best takedown defense, and Steve Garcia also has been knocked out. He was knocked out by Mahashate, which is not a good look. You don't want to be getting knocked out by Mahashate. But if we're talking just striking, if this stays on the feet, if Garcia keeps it on the feet and just strikes at Lopes, he can beat Lopes. I don't know about knockout. We haven't seen Lopes knocked out yet, but it's coming. It's got to be coming with how awful his defense is. He just hasn't been fighting, other than, of course, Jean Silva. He hasn't been fighting super high power punchers like Sabatini, not a power puncher. Danny Gay was, but Danny Gay's a little overrated these days in terms of power punching. I don't know. And the thing is, too, John Silva was winning that fight until he wasn't. John Silva was putting belt to ass on Diego Lopes, but I don't know. I'm going to be going with Steve Garcia haphazardly, sort of out of an obligation. Just checking on the odds-wise, Diego Lopes is a small favorite at minus 155, Steve Garcia plus 135. Those are some of the closest odds on the card, as expected. Betting wise, I think probably an over would be good. Steve Garcia, like I said, I'm picking the underdog, so Steve Garcia money line is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't pick anything else. Like, don't be picking, like, yeah, Lopez money line's still fine as long as you get in the minus 100 range. The next fight on the card is going to be Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins. So, starting with Kyle Dawkins. If you don't know Kyle Dawkins, he used to be in the UFC. And he was awful. I would say all the time. The Dawkins brothers, him and his older brother, are the worst fighters in the history of the UFC. I would minus points for you if you were to fight one of the Dawkins brothers. I was saying all the time that if Khalil Roundtree, if he didn't knock out Dawkins, he was absolutely washed. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Dawkins, but ever since he got booted from the UFC and came back, he's been a lot better, actually. He's been a lot better. Knocking out Michel Pereira, that's impressive. I know Michel Pereira's washed, but Kyle Dawkins, of all people, knocking him out, interesting. And then he, of course, not sub GM3. Sorry, everyone's finishing GM3. But now as for Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel, on the other hand, I don't know, man. Bo Nickel, I'm just not super high on. He's a very talented grappler. He has some good wins against Vieira, the Craig win, the Brundage win. But these are bums. These are bums. Craig is the best guy he fought. We saw how weird that fight was because Bo Nickel didn't want to go to the ground. And we, of course, all saw him quit against De Ridder. That's just a bad look. It's not like De Ridder beat him, but he didn't beat him definitively. Like, he landed a few body shots, and Bo Nickel clearly hadn't experienced body shots before and said, nope, I don't want to fight anymore. I still think he's better than Dawkins. I still think he's going to be a higher level fighter than a Kyle Dawkins, to be perfectly honest with you. I can see a world where Dawkins wins, but I think Bo Nickel will take him down. Dawkins has a good jiu-jitsu in terms of his darce, but his wrestling is where Bo Nickel's better, but I think his jiu-jitsu will prevent him from getting submitted. Bo Nickel, I'm not a huge fan of his ground and pound. We haven't really seen much of it. And if it's on the feet, I do think Dawkins is the better striker and has, I think he's a better striker, but I think Bo Nickel has more power. It's just that Bo Nickel struggles at landing with his power shot. So give me Bo Nickel, and I'm going to take Bo Nickel by decision. By the way, Steve Garcia decision too. And the next fight on the card is going to be Marcio Rufi versus Michael Chandler. Sorry, Chandler, you didn't get the red panty night. You didn't get the Conor fight. You got the Brazilian and better version of Conor McGregor. I am so sorry for your loss. Michael Chandler, a very exciting but awful fighter, unfortunately. I have to say it. I believed it for a bit. I believed Michael Chandler was good because I watched him starch Dan Hooker in round 1. Yes, it's Dan Hooker. He's not the best, but starching him one round, that's insane. He almost starched Oliveira, and he had an amazing fight against Gaethje. Killed Ferguson. And then we start to see him get killed by Poirier. Did pretty good besides the cheating. This was an awful fight. Also, Charles looked bad in it, and then just looked awful against Patty. I think his fight IQ was shot. He's old. He's washed, and he's going up against one of the best strikers in the UFC. I'm going to say it right now. He's not the most complete fighter. He has absolute holes, and holes that even Michael Chandler can exploit. But if we're talking straight striking in the UFC, I'm probably putting Rufi either at 1 or 2 behind a Prates. Or even a Piotr Jan. He is such an amazing striker. Like, taking on the coach of Tiger Muay Thai and KOing him, beautiful. Bobby Green. Oh, it's Bobby Green. Plenty of people knocked out Bobby Green. Nobody's knocked out Bobby Green like he did other than Jalen Turner. And even then, Jalen Turner was brutal and savage. Rufi was brutal, savage, clean, and precise. And then Yon Top, even with 20 pounds on him, Rufi was styling on him. Only reason Yon Top survived was because of the extra 20 pounds of missing weight. Marcio Rufi is insane. His striking is so damn good. But BSC, he he revealed he has a flaw in grappling. And Michael Chandler, he is a grappler, but he's the old school grappling. He's the old school MMA wrestler with a really strong right hand and a good blast double. He picks you up. He'll probably pick up Rufy, but as long as Rufy could stay on the feet for a little bit, he's just going to tag Chandler. His defense is non-existent. His calf kicks are decent, but Rufy's better kicking, better boxing. Oh my God. Plus the height, too, the height advantage. I could see Rufy just absolutely starching Chandler. I could see him just landing knees and spinning heel hook kicks, and like he's dead. I'm going to go Marcio Rufy to get it done, and I'm going to pick him to get it done by KO, honestly. I didn't look at the odds for Nickel Dawkins. Nickel is, of course, a minus 360 favorite. Marcio Rufy is a minus 900. There's no value in any of those two fights. That's why I didn't go in them. There's no value. You could probably get like a Rufy prop if you get like a round 1 or round 2 KO. Oh, under 1.5 rounds isn't bad either. Hey. Okay, there's some value on that. There's some value. I don't know. Well, no, I do know. I know Rufy's going to murder Chandler. I'm picking Marcio Rufy by KO. Josh Hokit versus Derek Lewis. This is the last minute addition to, not super last minute, but the last fight added to the card. And it's another squash match. I'm sorry. A lot of people are hyped for Derek Lewis. I'm not. I've never been a fan. I've been a fan of Derek Lewis, but not anymore. Derek Lewis, how he fights is he gives you 3 minutes of effort. If he can't knock you out in 3 minutes, he just quits. He just quits. Like, where's Waldo? He does not have power. He knocked him out with a jab. Yeah, he knocked out Taoshi Teixeira, but Taoshi Teixeira is garbage. Yeah, he knocked out Nascimento, but Nascimento's garbage. I'm sorry, but if it's a can, he's gonna not. He lost a Spivak. I made so much money on that. Lewis, he knocks out cans. He has insane power, but I think Hokit is the real deal. Now, for reference, I hate gimmicks, I hate trash talk, and I hate the weird, like, I prefer my fighters to have no personality and just be calm, stoic Terminators. Hokit is not that. He's annoying, he's brash, his gimmick is weird, but surprise, surprise, I still am a fan because he fights. He puts on good fights, and that's all that matters as long as they're not an evil human being. Josh Hokit, he's going to beat the piss out of Lewis. The only thing that worries me is the Blades fights, because Blades is not that good a striker, and he wasn't able to get out Blades. Blades gets knocked out. Blades gets knocked out plenty of times. People say, oh, but Blades goes up against guys like Lewis or Nagano or Sergey or Tom, and that's where he gets knocks him out. But he got knocked out by a jab from Aspinall. Aspinall has really good power, speed, and timing, but not enough to knock out most people with a jab. You're chinny. He's chinny, and Hokit couldn't get him out. Lewis will probably quit after an onslaught from Hokit, to be perfectly honest with you. There might be some motivation considering, you know, president in attendance, president specifically requested him, but I'm gonna go with Hokit. I think it's gonna be a clear win for Hokit. I think it's gonna be a knockout. Hokit is a minus 400 favorite. Makes sense. The under is minus 200. I'm gonna take anything at minus 200 with this fight. Hokit by KO plus 120. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So, yep, Hokit by KO. Short card, so we're already on the featured bout. Sean O'Malley versus Amin Zahabi, aka Ariel Helwani, basically. Amin Zahabi is a good fighter, but not a great one. Amin Zahabi doesn't have it, and I'm not talking about star power or anything like that. I don't care about that. I'm talking about he's not the most powerful. He's not the best wrestler. He's not the most technical. He's just good everywhere. He's got some good durability, but like Amin Zahabi, as you see, decision. He's not finishing. There's more fights. Decision. He knocked out Arichi Long. I mean, cool. There's a realistic world in which he grapples O'Malley, keeps him up against the fence or something like that, but he's not submitting O'Malley. O'Malley's jiu-jitsu is... It's okay. It's okay. It's good enough to not get submitted by a low-level submission guy like Amin Zahabi. Meanwhile, Sean O'Malley is the better striker. I do think he's declining now, believe it or not. I actually do think he's declining. But I think he's going to piece apart an Amin Zahabi. I think this is a perfect spot to get a showcase spot for him. I don't think he's going to get a finish, though, because I think Amin's tough. But one thing to just really solidify this matchup is Amin Zahabi, 2 fights ago, fought Jose Aldo. That was his retirement fight, and that version of Jose Aldo is not as good a striker as Sean O'Malley, and we saw how Aldo almost killed the man. So if O'Malley hasn't declined as much as I thought, I think O'Malley could win it by a decision, by a KO, but I'm going to be leaning towards O'Malley decision. O'Malley, of course, is a minus 400 favorite. Surprise, surprise. What a shock. As you can see, there's just a lot of squash matches on this card. But yeah, Sean O'Malley decision is my official pick. Wait, what did that say? Oh, crypto.com. The co-main event of the evening, Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. I think this is a squash match. A lot of the odds, Alex is the underdog now. Ooh. I think we are not actually watching the fight. Everyone who's going off this fight is going, no, Cyril Gane's really good. Did you see how he was winning that 1 round against Tom Aspinall before he gouged his eyes out? No, people aren't watching him. They saw a decent performance against Tom Aspinall, and they're not paying attention that Alex Pereira is literally Cyril Gane's kryptonite. We're going to forget that 2 fights ago, slow, plotty Volkov beat him. Yes, Gane won, but that is bull. Gane is an industry plant where they want the French market, but in actuality, this boy, they talk, oh, he's such a good, talented striker. He is sloppy. He is such a sloppy, defensive-oriented fighter. He relies all on head movement and mobility. And the reason why he looks like such a good defensive ace is because his head movement and mobility is up against slow, plotty Spivak. Volkov, he won. Slow, plotty. Why does Jones look like that? Slow, plotty Tuivasa. Loses to Francis. Slow, plotty Lewis. Slow, plotty Volkov. I don't know what the hell's up with Frozen Strike in this fight. Slow, plotty do you see this? He's going up against slower, plotty guys, and now we have a faster Alex Pereira moving up. Sure, Alex Pereira's a little bit of a plotter, but he's not slow. Is he as fast as, say, Big Onk? No, but he still was able to pressure him. Cyril Gane likes slower guys that don't pressure. Alex Pereira will pressure Cyril Gane, and when he gets up against the fence, he just relies solely on head movement and just keeps his hands down low. Think back to Tai Tuivasa almost starching Cyril Gane. Alex Pereira will land that same shot and finish him. But also, here's the thing. Cyril Gane, when he does keep his hands and cover up, he has a sloppy, awful high man's guard where he hunches his head over and just covers his sides. He's open and primed for uppercuts, and Alex Pereira loves uppercuts and knees up the middle. We saw Gane do this stupid, awful defense against Tom Aspinall every time he blitzed. And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, I still think Tom Aspinall would probably have won that fight if it went past the first round. I'm going to be honest with you, he was finding reads on him, starting to tag him more. I think Alex Pereira will do the same thing as long as he doesn't get eye gouged. That's a big issue, possibly, as well, too. He could absolutely eye gouge him, but I don't know. I think Alex Pereira is absolutely going to win this fight. I think it's not going to be close. I think what's going to happen is Cyril Gane is going to win probably the first 1 or 2 rounds, get sloppy, get lazy, and just get clipped and done. And it's going to be a clear, decisive win for Alex Pereira. I think we are well overrating Gon in this aspect. Like, yeah, people say, oh, but he's a physical freak. Look at how big he is. Well, watch his fights. He's got no actual hand-to-fist KOs. His KO over against Spivak, sloppy back of the head shots. Like, he punches like someone hitting someone with their purse. Tuivasa, that's basically Drew teeping him to the stomach, and then again the back of the head shots. And also, when he strikes too, he will throw himself out of position, like against the Jones fight. Now, Alex Perez is going to grapple. That's not an issue, but he does throw out of position. Like, he will literally just throw like a right hand and forget that his rear foot needs to touch the canvas. Like, I'm not a fan of Gon. I think he's so overrated, and I really think Alex Pereira is going to knock him out. I think there's aspects where Alex Pereira is overrated too, but I'm telling you right now, in terms of matchups in the whole like division, I think Alex Pereira is Cyril Gane's worst matchup, and the fact that Alex Pereira is the underdog now. Last time I looked at, he was a slight favorite. Yeah, give me Alex Pereira KO all day, all day. I'll put my money on it. I'll put my seal of approval. And on to the main event, Ilia Topuria is going to be taking on Justin Gaethje for the lightweight title. I think Justin Gaethje is going to fucking die. I like Justin Gaethje. This is not a good matchup for him. Just look at his last fight against Paddy Pimblett. He looked awful. He looked really bad. Even though he won, he did not look good. It looked like a sloppy barnhouse brawl. Justin Gaethje has declined greatly. I'm sorry. Like, the Fiziev wins, not a good look. I'm sorry. Like, he didn't look good in the Fiziev fights. Like, we saw what happens when a real talented striker like Rufi goes up against Fiziev. Rufi KO'd him in the second round. Gaethje went the distance with him twice, and he didn't look good doing it. I don't care. He didn't look good doing it. Gaethje, also, his power is overrated. He's knocked out Poirier 3 years ago. When's his last knockout before that? Ferguson, 2020. 6 years. He's knocked out 2 people. That's how insane his power is. In the last, 2 years, Topuria knocked out 3 people. One person was the first time and only time he's ever been knocked out. Yeah, so no. Ilia Topuria is a better striker. He's a better grappler, too. People forget. Ilia Topuria, before he came into UFC, was a grapple guy. We saw him, too, in the grappling exchange against Charles Oliveira. If Ilia Topuria wants, he can grapple Gaethje and beat him. People say, oh, Gaethje's too big, his anti-wrestling's too good. I don't think it matters. I think Ilia Topuria, despite his size, is strong, is compact. But I do think he'll still be fought on the feet, and Ilia Topuria wins. His boxing is far better than Gaethje. I think Whitman's really tried to make Gaethje more of a patient striker, and it just doesn't work with his style. But even if it didn't, he would get knocked out. I just see no avenues for Gaethje to win. I will say I saw even less avenues for Sean Strickland to beat Khamzat Chimaev, so who knows? The eye pokes for Gaethje are a thing as well too. Who knows? It might rain. Who knows? But I'm not banking on these superstitions. Like the chances of these things happening or whatever are like mini miracles. Otherwise, everywhere on paper, Ilia Topuria knocks out or submits Justin Gaethje. Yeah, there was a time where Ilia Topuria went up against Josh Emmett and didn't knock him out, but then again, he got 10-7 in there, which basically says, yeah, that fight should have probably been ended. So I don't know. I'm taking Ilia Topuria to get it done. I'm gonna take him round 1 KO. Part of me thinks he might be like Gaethje's defense is better than Charles Oliveira. That's the main reason. Like anyone who thought Charles had a chance in that fight is an idiot, and anyone who thought Ilia wasn't gonna knock him out is an idiot. And I'm sorry. I put money on round 1 KO, and I felt like an idiot for not putting more money on round 1 KO. Like I put most of my money on Ilia KO. I should have put everything in round 1. Charles is, though, worse defensively than Justin Gaethje, so there's a chance he can make it to the second round, but if it enters round 3, I'm shocked. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I think this is gonna be an absolute massacre. Ilya Topuria is a minus 550. I think he should be a bigger favorite than Marcio Rufi against Michael Chandler, to be honest with you. But yeah, don't try to find value in these underdogs like Gaethje or Chandler or Dawkins or Lewis. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So yeah, that is going to be the card. Like I said, too many squash matches for me to think it's a super high, exciting, competitive card, but it should still be a fun card. Please let me know what you think and subscribe if you want me to do more of this. Bye-bye.